we come in, do our breed of the day, and we learn about the anatomy of animals.
I would recommend vet tech if you like animals.
One of the coolest things we do is spring semester, we will dissect a swine heart.
I like the fact that we actually interact with animals.
First years learn how to draw, and we learn how to do AutoCAD, 3ds Max, some other programs. We also do some hand drawing. We learn how to draw different types of things, isometric drawings, orthographic drawings. Everybody lives in houses or apartments, so we teach you the different parts, what things are, different things like that. If you're ever going to shop for a house in the future, we learn different architectural styles, so even people who aren't planning on going into architecture for a living will get a lot out of this class.
Well, it's a good introduction into architecture, and also I don't believe any other school in the Plano area actually has architecture as a course.
You need to learn the basis of your house, and it also tells you mortgages and how we can pay for them, estimate what you can afford. So it has basic economical skills too.
They're going to learn how to decorate, how the color wheel works. They're learning basic skills. There is some math involved, and of course science with color. We start out with learning the basics about architecture, home styles, and as we learn more about the principles and elements of design, we will incorporate those more. So we identify them looking at magazines and isolating them, and then once we've gotten all those basics down, we use them to do a final project.
We have 3 AP Studio Art courses at Plano West. We have AP Drawing, AP 2D Design, and AP 3D Design. AP Drawing involves observational drawing, abstraction of objects, painting, printmaking. AP 2D Design employs all those but adds digital elements and graphic design. And AP 3D Design is all about sculpture.
I think the class is really preparing me for the future because it really exposes you to a lot of new things that are definitely very important for an artist, and it also helps you broaden your perspective in general as far as thinking goes and as far as spatial reasoning goes.
3 of the studio AP classes are double blocked, means they meet for 2 periods a day. However, you get honors credit for 1 hour and AP credit for another hour.
In the fall semester, you really try a lot of new things, which is our breadth portfolio, and you're basically assigned projects, which you do based on the assignments from the teacher. Whereas in the spring semester, what you do is you have a concentration and you really focus on an idea or core theme that extends throughout multiple pieces.
We are the highest scoring advanced placement fine arts program in the entire United States.
The thing I enjoy most about art history would be kind of the broad scope of study it offers. I study art that's within the European tradition and beyond. It combines my interests in visual arts and history and culture and language, all of that. Art history will generally prepare you for just having a deeper, more intrinsic knowledge and appreciation for your surroundings. It'll teach you to be able to interact with objects around you, wherever you end up.
What I enjoy most about art history is Mr. Derricott. He's a great teacher, and he really helps you explore the different cultures and really understand where their art comes from. I would recommend taking art history because it allows you to interpret and understand the art that you've been seeing throughout your life and understanding the intention of the artist and why they did what they did.
Graphic design is really about learning how to design logos, t-shirts, how to kind of promote a business, how to advertise, so it can really help you out a lot in the real world if that's something that you plan on pursuing. I like this class because it's helped me grow a lot as a graphic designer and as an artist, and I know that I'll be able to apply it in my future.
So my favorite project was doing the Blue Nation t-shirt designs, even though mine didn't get selected. Being able to design a t-shirt that potentially everybody would wear would be really cool. As a junior though, if your design were to get selected, you'd be able to see everybody wearing it around the school, which I think is really cool.
My favorite part about this class is how to make different colors work together and different elements so that everything looks aesthetically pleasing. And that's not something that most people are able to do effectively without this kind of education.
We learn a lot in audio and video production, everything from writing the scripts and storyboards and everything to then filming and learning about the camera and the microphones and then editing also.
Audio video production class is a great class for those that are interested in pursuing a career in radio, television, or film, or have a passion for later on in their life.
This is a very project-based class, so you're constantly working on short films, documentaries, videos for the school, and you also write scripts. I chose this class because I actually want to go into a career in filmmaking, whether it's producing, directing, editing. This class really helps you with all that. I very much recommend this class because even if you're not going into the film industry, it's still a really good class to learn about because video is everywhere.
This class would be great for incoming juniors because it's really unique and you discover something that you might create as a hobby. I chose this class because I really admire making things and filming things and working around the camera. I just really wanted to learn more about that. I really enjoyed it so much where I just went into the advanced, the AVP2.
The coolest thing that we get to do in fashion is that we just get to learn about how to sketch and different designers, and then if you go into fashion 2, you get to go to New York and kind of apply all of that to New York City.
I would recommend fashion design because you learn different things that you can apply for a variety of different skills. Costuming, which I do, and then you can also do fashion marketing. Graphic design is really good for taking this class and that as well.
If you're like me and you love clothes and fashion, it's a really good way to kind of learn how to do all of that in like an educational sense. I'd recommend fashion because if you're really passionate about it, it's a way to kind of open a door into fashion.
What I enjoy most about video game design is all the projects that you get to work on, and you get to meet a lot of really cool people, and the teachers really chill. My favorite project in video game design probably has to be a tie between the board game project that we do at the beginning of the year or the final project, which we actually get to make our own video game.
PAL stands for Peer Assistance Leadership, and what we basically do is we go around Plano West and we help out people who we see, and we have a fun time doing it. It's a group of fun-loving people, and we feel like a family. You know, we look out for each other, we go out to lunch, we go out and help special needs kids, and it's really a lot of fun.
I like that we get to meet new people every day, and I get to meet all these kids who all share like us the same passion about working with all the special ed kids. It's impacted me by getting to work with all the special ed kids is a really big part of my life, and I enjoy getting to know all of them, and they always make my day better. You should totally join. It's so much fun, and it's such a fun class that we get to work with all of them.
I decided to take this class because I wanted to explore my options with kids and teaching.
A lot of what we go over in this class to become a teacher, we talk about how to write curriculum, how to write lesson plans, how to work with children, discipline children, how to coordinate a daily activity, and how a typical school day works.
The most enjoyable part of this class is field sites. We go to an elementary school twice a week.
For me, the most enjoyable part of this class is just getting to know the teacher and the kids in your class.
They learn about working with kids, disciplining kids, how to write lesson plans, how to work with children who are having a difficult day and all.
I learned it's really easy to learn like just how to teach in this class.
The advice I'd give to anybody taking this class is to think about if you really want to work with kids and what is it you want to do in your future. If you want to go into education, then this is the class for you.
Accounting is journalizing and recording transactions that companies do and having a written record of that. In this class, we practice doing that, and we have a set amount of transactions, and we have to record them and journalize them to keep a written track of how much money we have.
I have seen a whole range of students enjoy this class, so I don't think there's a particular kind. It's anyone interested in either starting their own business or they know that they're going to go into a business degree. Skills from accounting. You will understand the basics of business, so you would be able to go in and understand how the money functions. The skills necessary would be someone that can work on their own, can problem solve, but yet has no problem working together with their fellow classmates to solve a problem, or is not afraid to ask questions.
Clinical rotation 1 and 2 is for students who are interested in healthcare studies. So what we do in Clinical 1 is we do patient care.
Our class offers real-world experience, so things that can't be taught in a textbook that can only be taught through experience.
First thing you get is your CNA license. So that means you can actually work in a hospital setting after your junior year of high school. The other thing you get is shadowing experience. So that's basically where you go to different hospital sites and observe what they're doing. So you get to go to the ER, the operating room, and different floors of the hospital to see exactly what happens there, because there's a lot of misconceptions of what really goes on in the hospital.
Our class offers a glimpse into the medical profession that you won't necessarily see until your second or third year of medical school.
My favorite part about this class would probably be the medical experience that we get in the hospital, through all the places that we rotate and all the things that we learn through all of our certifications too.
So in child development, we're learning everything from conception up to school age, which is 6 to 12 years. And we are learning about different types of families and different types of parents. and everything that goes with that. One of my favorite things we do is at the beginning of the semester, the students do a poster about their life timeline up to this point. And I get to learn a lot of very interesting things about the students that I wouldn't otherwise get to learn about. This class will definitely prepare my students for the future if they do decide or become parents. This will be helping them with the economic part of it, how to be a good parent, and everything that goes with that.
Dollars and Cents is a class that really prepares you for life after high school, real world things that you wouldn't learn in other classes. We also get to learn how to cook, so it's not just economics, it's everything to better prepare you in life.
They are learning how to set goals, they're learning how to budget and balance a checkbook.
You will get a taste of what it's like to live on your own as you do multiple lessons on what it's like and how much money you make and what jobs you want to do.
I would say that they are going to take with them how to live on their own, how to be successful, and how to financially support themselves.
So this is Lifetime Nutrition and Wellness, and the students are going to learn the habits of being healthy throughout their life. We also do some cooking labs, so students can get practice in the kitchen, learning how to measure properly, how to see when foods are cooked properly, of course safety and sanitation in the kitchen.
I think this class is preparing me for the future by helping me set a well-balanced diet. I chose to take this class because I wanted to learn more about nutrition and how to eat better.
Students should take this class because you will be learning basics that are good for the rest of your life.
Web design is about learning how to create a basic web page and learning about how to code, so HTML and CSS. And we also get into graphics, so animation, we use Pixlr and then Photoshop as well. So we kind of combine that graphic design and also kind of that coding. Really the skills that you're going to learn are basic coding, which has become very prevalent in the workforce, and some really great graphic skills as well. I think the great thing about this is I think coding is becoming really a big part of not just a web design career or just those type of fields, but computer fields, even business fields, and even graphic design. We have other graphic design programs here as well, so that can kind of spark your passion for those as well. You do not need any experience. We have all levels here. We have students who are really high level or other level, and we have, since we use HTML and CSS, we have students who have learned JavaScript, but maybe haven't learned HTML and CSS, so you can come in with no knowledge and we will teach you all the basics.
And you guys just get a newspaper.
Well, we normally do journalistic writing, so we do writing informing our teacher about, recently we did a biographical writing, so I did Barbara Walters, and we did famous journalism staples throughout the years.
My favorite part about the class is probably the current events because I love discussing and debating over what's happening in the world.
Before, I was not very aware of current events, but because of this class, I am now more aware of things that are happening in the world.
If you're thinking about taking this class next year, I would tell you that it's a lot of fun. It's about as much fun as any elective I've taken so far, and you really get out of it what you put into it.
Photojournalism is a class where we take pictures of all the activities around school, and they're used in the yearbook and for our everyday class.
Everything we do is news. Everything that the school does, we try to cover with pictures and questions of students. This class really appeals to anyone. It gives you a unique perspective at school events that other students don't get.
Photojournalism is an excellent class to prepare you for a career in journalism down in your future. Not only do you get to work with students and have a hand-on experience with them, but you also get to go through and capture the daily events going on throughout Plano West.
Entrepreneurship is a class where students explore opening and running their own business. So we do a lot of projects over the course of the semester that allow them to be able to explore that opportunity in groups.
The principles that we learn in the class it applies to everyday life, just working well with people, working as a team. Whatever job you're going to be in, you're going to have to work with people. But mainly the aspect of creating something and then building upon it and going further than you thought you could go, and taking your idea and letting other people influence you to make something even better.
The skills that I've gained in being entrepreneurship class would be kind of got over my fear of speaking in front of others, and it's taught me how to persuade people to want a certain product.
We do a Shark Tank group project, which mirrors kind of what you see on Shark Tank, where a team of students develop a product or a business and they pitch it to a panel of other students to see if they would invest in their idea.
So the main purpose of sports entertainment marketing is that students can find a connection between their interest in sports or in the field of entertainment with marketing, the actual profession.
I think what somebody could do to implement this class into their normal life is it gives you a better understanding, and putting it into your own life, you could just learn more about it and kind of brought out into a job about it, or maybe an opportunity or internship.
An example of a type of career would actually be the career that I was in, and that's called an experiential marketing manager, where you actually manage a client. In this case, my client was Chevrolet, and you will leverage different sports partnerships.
I think one of the most impactful things I've learned probably is how large the female demographic is in sports and entertainment today, but also the field of entertainment and sports, and how marketing affects both those fields.
Social media marketing is a class that helps me use social media to help you market your business, not just like learn social media for everyday use.
As you guys know, students use social media all the time, but they're focused really more on using it as a consumer rather than the person who's creating the content and looking to market. So this class really has them look at social media from a different viewpoint.
My favorite part about this class is how they teach it and guide you through the ways social media will help with your business.
Most of the students who take the class have some interest in a career in marketing, and social media is inevitable in that world.
AP Music Theory is the holistic study of music as a language, and in many ways it's like a foreign language class. So if you're interested in learning about music beyond just what the correct notes to play or sing are, this will be a great course to take.
What I think about music theory, I think about it as a different language, and it's like you're learning the language of music. So at times it's a lot of work, but you learn a lot from it. At the beginning of class every day, we sing for a little bit, and then we learn a new lesson, whether it's a new scale, a new key signature.
My favorite part of music theory is how it helps me in band and my other music-related activities, and how I can apply what I learned in there to band and some of the other stuff in band. I can apply music theory and vice versa.
I say if you're thinking about it, you should take it, because again, I was one of those people who wasn't sure, and like I was looking to fill in classes. Music theory was one of the options. I was already in band. I was like, oh, how hard could music theory be? And then I ended up taking it and never regretted it. I think if you're thinking about it, it should be on your schedule.
Engineering science is a course that offers students who are math-minded a chance to experience what it's like to have project-based learning, where there's not really a simple answer to every problem that you have to encounter. You work with teammates to create a solution that's right for your group and your problem.
My favorite part of teaching this class is the hands-on aspect to it. So much of this world today is virtual, and sim this and sim that, and there's a big difference between what you think is going to happen and what actually does happen when you put your hands on things. And seeing the students learn about that and work through those problems is my favorite part. Students, after being in this class, will have a real understanding of what an engineer does. So many times they just think an engineer builds things, but they miss out on the fact that there's a lot of designing that has to go in there, and testing and documentations and stuff.
I would definitely recommend this class to any juniors who really like math and really like science and want to see what it's like to experiment with different projects and different problems.
Aerospace engineering is the study behind the physics and issues surrounding atmospheric travel, traveling through the atmosphere, and also extraterrestrial or space travel. Some of the things we study in aerospace engineering are the physics and issues surrounding flight both on Earth and in space, and also a lot of the safety issues surrounding them as well. Some of the more fun things we do is we design and test our own glider designs, also rockets. We'll be doing those pretty quick here. We also look at how satellites do topographical imaging for mapping, and we'll be looking at how, like the Mars rover is controlled from Earth. So we'll be building our own rover as well. What careers can you enter through aerospace engineering? The obvious, of course, jet engine, airplane, and spacecraft design, but also you can get into the design of automobiles and boats.
I would recommend psychology because students get to learn about the brain and about themselves in a fun and interesting way.
On a daily basis in psychology, we learn a lot using notes, videos, and projects.
One example we had was we made a brain hat of the different layers of the brain and how they work.
What I enjoy by psychology is the students and the teachers and the atmosphere.
Sociology is the study of human society, human social groups, the ways that people interact with each other.
We usually have like a project every week or so. She sets different goals for each person, so the group actually does something and everyone's doing their part.
My favorite part of the class is definitely the projects. They're really fun and interesting and unique. And so it's not like your normal make a poster, put it on the wall, be done with it kind of project. It's really interesting and there's a lot of parts and you really get to think in a completely different way.
Some topics we study are behavior patterns. We study different sociologists and psychologists, and we just study different types of societies and why they act the way they do. If anyone wanted to consider taking this class next year, I would recommend it because it's a gateway to psychology if you're taking that, and it's just a really interesting class overall.